Hi guys, welcome to another Jamaican video, a Jamaican living in Germany. In this video, I want to tell you how I've become, I would say, a bit too German and how I've actually lived up to some of the German stereotypes. So I'll tell you all about how living in Germany has actually impacted me and changed me in a lot of different ways. Before coming to Germany, I didn't really play any sports apart from like occasional running and stuff. I didn't do much. Since coming to Germany and joining a sports club is kind of one of my newfound obsessions, where like playing volleyball, playing badminton is like, it's a highlight of my week, I must say. In Germany, it's actually sometimes really surprising like how many opportunities you have to play different sports, like so many different sports clubs, or you have different places that you can go and sign up for different like classes and so on. And I guess that also comes from just being in Germany, when recognizing that so many people, they are focused on their health and they're focused on staying fit, eating well and so on, and then somehow you kind of catch on to it when you go out and you see people running in the cold or whatever, and you're like, okay, maybe I should try that one day. When I just got to Germany, I was surprised to see that people were, for example, out running in winter or when it was cold in general. I was like, for me, I just couldn't understand it. Or even I see people out in like shorts and they're running. And for me, that was just like, okay, that's crazy. I would never do that. A couple years later, I do it. Even when it's snowing, when it's like super cold and windy, I'm out running, because for me, it's like much better, because then at least you don't sweat as much. It's typical for Germans to open their windows at intervals to let some fresh air come in, whether it's at home, it's at work, or at school, wherever. There are even points where I'm the one, like when I'm meeting with German friends, I might be the one to initiate that, hey, let's open the window, let some fresh air come in. I think I've taken this a bit too far, because I'm always sleeping with my windows open. So even on the coldest night in winter, my window is open. Because if it's closed, then I won't be able to sleep well. Like, I'm just going to be sweating and I'm just going to be miserable. Over the past years, I've actually learned a lot more German, and I'm actually at the point where I could say that I'm actually fluent in the language. But then this has its own price, because the more German I learn, it seems the more English I forget. So it's like I learn more and more German words, and when I try to speak English, then sometimes I can't even remember an English word, even though I know what the German word is. Being in Germany has somehow caused my mother tongue. Being in Germany has somehow caused my native language, English, to kind of be not at the forefront of my mind in a lot of situations. Sometimes I'm mispronouncing English words, or I'm mixing up the language, where there are many situations where I know what the German word is. It's like right there on the tip of my tongue, and I just cannot remember what the English word is. Even just reactions to certain things, I don't have an English reaction but like a German reaction. It's like I have these moments where it's like expressions in English or even Spanish don't even capture my emotions, where it's like I somehow have to use German for it. And that's kind of weird, actually. I don't even know what's happening in my mind, but yeah, what can I do? Now, a common thing in Germany is that whenever you're breaking the rules, that people will like really stare at you, like the stare of shame or disgrace or whatever. And I find myself doing that sometimes, where it's like I see people doing things and I'm like, I look at them pretty much the same way like a German would look at people, like in ridiculing them or something, and I'm like, yeah, why are you doing that actually? Now, Germans are notorious for sorting their garbage. I mean, in Germany you have like different bins with different colors, and they're for different things, and I've actually adapted to that quite well and actually really love that. I've even gotten to the point where when I'm throwing away certain things, where it's like when I'm not sure in which bin it's supposed to go, then on some packaging there's like some information about how it should be disposed of. Or I might go online and search for this particular item and say, okay, where should I throw this thing? And I'm like, wow, when did I become this person? And I mean, I'm happy that I'm this person. I've recognized that living in Germany has kind of changed my expectation and the standards that I have for, you know, the requirements for life, you could say, or just like living in general. For example, being carefree in Germany, where it's like Germany is like a really safe country, and I don't even think about certain things, and then I still have this mindset when I travel, and then I'm like, wait, I need to be careful. because I go to places and somehow my mind is still in this German state of mind where I'm like, I expect things to work well and I expect things to function well. Now, Germany is known for breads. Like, some really tasty breads are, yeah, I love bread, by the way. I've recognized that even in that area, I've kind of become, I would say, very German, where it's like, it's typical in Germany where you see people on a Sunday lining up at the bakery to buy their breads. And I find myself doing this quite a lot of times, where it's like, there are just times where I was like, okay, I want to have like a German breakfast today. And I go to the bakery on a Sunday and I buy my bread, or even like the foods that I will cook. I must admit, like, most times I don't even cook Jamaican food. Like, when I cook Jamaican food, it's like really special. Like, most times I'm just cooking like typical German dishes and so on. So I guess even in that regard, I've adapted and I've embraced like the food. I find German food to be quite good. I mean, most people actually have different things to say about it. One thing that I will never adapt to is sparkling water. This carbonated water is just not, and it will never be my thing, because for me, carbonated water is like soda without sugar and color and flavor and all that. So that's, I don't know, it just doesn't taste natural. And I mean, it's like very popular in Germany. It's like sometimes you really have to specify that you want like normal water, or they're gonna bring you this sparkling water. I'm always gonna prefer my water as it should be, normal, not with bubbles and stuff. I am quite happy about the person that I've become since I've been living in Germany. In fact, the main reason that I wanted to study here was that so I could have the opportunity to grow as a person, like in different areas, like not just to get a degree. I mean, the degree was important and so on, but for me, what was even more important was, for example, learning a new language, dealing with new cultures, traveling the world, and all those different things. At the beginning, it was really tough, like adjusting like to a lot of things about Germany. But then eventually, with the effort and with patience, and things got better. And then I recognized that even through those processes where I was sad or I was just like, I didn't know what to do. It's like, eventually I recognized that it actually helped me to become a much better person. The different experiences that I've had in this country and the things that I've been exposed to, it has helped me to become a much better person, I would say, in like just about all areas of my life, where it's like, now I know much more about myself. I know more about my weaknesses. I know more about my strengths. That's probably the reason I love this country so much, because I came here and it kind of took me out of my comfort zone, completely out of my comfort zone. I mean, a new language, a new culture, everything was completely new. And then trying to find my way through all of it and trying to adapt to it, trying to take and trying to, you know, it was a really tough process sometimes. And I must say, sometimes it was really frustrating. When you step out of your comfort zone, that's when you have like these crazy experiences. And stepping out of your comfort zone isn't coming to Germany for everyone. I mean, stepping out of your comfort zone can be the simplest things, just choosing to do something different or whatever it is. And I think that's when life gets exciting. That's when you learn, that's when you grow, that's when you discover. And that's exactly what my experience has been like. In any case, I think that's just how life is. As you go through life, then you learn more and more. And when you learn, you should actually change. If you don't change, then you didn't really learn something. And that should always be our approach to life. Like, no matter where we live, no matter what we do, the important thing is that we should always be getting better. We should be a better person each day, each year. We should look back and say, hey, I'm a much better person today. And so that's probably the thing I'm most thankful for the years that I've been in this country, where it's like, I've learned a lot and I'm excited to see what more I will learn in the years to come.